Hi, I'm Ludo, and this is how I used AI in Photoshop to make this sick desktop background like this. First things first, you gotta make a new document. I'm gonna be using the dimensions 1920 by 1080 because that's what my monitor supports, but you can use whatever works for yours. Then I'm gonna create a new layer, turn off the background, grab the rectangle tool, select all, right click anywhere, generative fill, and I'm gonna write in dragon eye close up, and hit generate. This might take a little while. Once it's done, you'll see this nice cool dragon eye, and we can check out some variations. By default, Photoshop does 3 of them, and if you don't like any of them, you can just go ahead and generate some more until you find something you like. I'm going to be using this one, I think it'll work. I'm going to create a new layer, select all again on this new layer, right click, generative fill, and I'm going to type in black hole with fire, and hit generate. It's going to do its thing. And once it's done, you can see we have a black hole with fire. There's a few options. Once again, if you don't like any of them, just hit generate again until you find something you like. I think this one here is going to work. It's nice and round. So I'm going to be trying to put that black hole inside the eye of the dragon, just to give it that nice glow. So I'm going to select the dragon layer, and then using the smart selection tool, I'm going to draw a little circle around the eyeball. It selected all of that, and that's great. I am going to copy paste that into a new layer. As you can see, there's the new layer. Then I'm going to use the ellipse tool to draw a circle around the black hole, the glowing part that I want to use. Select and mask. I'm going to play with the feathery effect and the smoothness and the contrast until I get something I like. And then set the output to layer mask. Then I'm just going to position it over the eyeball. That looks pretty good. Then I'm going to play around with the different blend modes. See what looks good to you. There are some really cool options, but I'm going to go for lighten. Then I'm going to set the opacity down a little bit, around 90%. Then selecting the layer mask of the black hole and using the brush tool with a hardness of 0 and a size of 100 or so, I'm just going to be cleaning up the edge so that the glow isn't surpassing the eyelid. Just to clean it up. That looks pretty good. At this point I use the smart selection tool again to select the eyeball again from our original dragon eye layer, and then I'm going to hit inverse selection. Select and mask, output to layer mask, and it made an ugly line, so I'm not going to do that. At this point I realized that I made a mistake. It's important to make the glow select only the eyeball section by selecting the layer that has the black hole and then holding Alt and left clicking on the layer below it. This makes it so that the glow only appears on the eye, and would have saved some time. Now to make the eye really pop, I'm going to click on the original dragon layer and then press this button over here and pull up the hue saturation sliders. And from there I'm going to lower the saturation all the way down so that we have this nice black and white image of the scales of the dragon. You can mess around with the other sliders until you get something that you like. Also, if you wanted to put a specific color on the dragon, this is where you would do it, using the colorize feature. I think I'm pretty happy with this. Next, I'm going to select the top layer, so the black hole, and then hold Ctrl, Shift, Alt, and press E. This will make a new layer that I can then use to center the eyeball to the middle of the image. I'm going to pull up a grid by hitting View, Show, Grid, or Control apostrophe. Then I'm going to line it up. That looks about right. Next I'm going to hide all of the other layers. Remove the transform control so I can see better. And then with the rectangle selection tool, select the whole image. Inverse, and then right click on the blank space and hit generative fill and hit generate without putting any prompt. What this is going to do is it's going to fill up the space with what it thinks matches with the rest of the image. That looks pretty good. But as always, there's 3 variations. I'm going to check them out. I kind of like the second one best, I think. I'm going to hide the grid. And there we go. This is our image. At this point, I'm just going to go ahead and export it. I think that looks pretty cool, and I was able to do it in just 10 minutes. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you'd like to see next. Bye!